Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at uh Transformers Kingdom Slammer, and here he is. And he took me by surprise, sort of. I really like the weaponizers, and I put the fossilizers and modulators in with the weaponizers. And he's a weaponizer. And Slammer never had a robot mode. He was just a tank and basically a drone. And I didn't. I I don't know what to say. I um I was really looking forward to this figure. I love it. I was looking forward to it, but I didn't I didn't know what to expect. So I didn't really know what to expect, and so I just I just didn't know what to expect. Um, and having him, watching some videos on him, mainly having him, I really like him. This tank mode, obviously it's got a lot more different colors than his original, but I really like this tank. It's not like the more hyper realistic one that like Kingdom Warpath is. He's just a if someone, I guess if you were to tell like a 5-year-old to drop a tank, something like this would probably come up. And I really like it. Uh, Barrel can move up, can't move to the side, but basically move up and down. He looks like artillery gun on treads that he doesn't need to He doesn't need to swivel. He just turns like this and adjusts his angle and then fires at all the guys in front of him. He's like a big artillery gun, I guess. Artillery gun on treads. I don't know. I just really like it. Just nice and huge and beefy. And when I saw this, I just want to show you this. This is Core Class Megatron. Matt, I thought of this. This looks like a regular tank, and then this is like this big, massive, huge, like monster tank. And that's what this guy reminds me of. For him being a deluxe, he gets that. He has that intensity for me, I guess you could say. He has that. I don't really know what to say. He's just really nice, and he looks mean. He looks industrial. He doesn't look like that like battle-hardened warrior as Warpath does. He looks as if you were to mix like I don't know, like a I don't know. Just I really like this tank mode, and pairing it to like the small size of like Core Class Megatron. It's like this guy is running him over because he's so huge, so massive, so like industrial. I really like the colors. I really like this tank mode, and that's really it for the tank mode, and I really like it. So let's get down to transformation. So I just like to bring this up a little bit, pull this off, and then swivel that apart, and then just leave that off to the side. Straighten those out. Come down here to this white piece, pull that out. I like to swivel it around. That's his waist. I guess you can, but then it starts sticking out. So that's why I swivel it around. I don't know I can't remember if it says that in the instructions or not, but whatever. Then you pull this apart. Those two holes, don't know if you can see it since it's all black, on those two pegs. And then you pull these pieces off, pull these off from that, separate it, straighten them out. We'll bring him down, and there's his arms. So there's hole, peg, same thing, hole, peg. So now flip up his head, turn it around, two pegs, same holes that those two pegs went onto. Peg it together. There. Now these are the legs. Flip these down. Come back here. Open up. Pull that out for the thigh and like the upper leg. And then peg it on. Sometimes I get the legs mixed up. Just remember that the ankle tilt obviously faces angles inward or whatever. So there's that. Now the other one, hinge that out. Close up the ankle tilt. Do that. Stand them up. Just getting them all situated and straightened out. Now you take this little adapter, this little piece, put it on those two pegs, or at least I do. Then you take his gun. I like to put it on his right hand. And there you go. There is Kingdom Slammer. And I like him. I really, really like him. He just looks big and mean. I think for how big his tank mode looks, like not comparing it to like how big it should look and how big and beefy his body looks should look. I should say I think he could be like this big like guardian big guard thing for like a little like Legends or Core diorama. Like he's just this big hulking guard, sort of like what the Guardian robots are. Just he has that bricky body and the big limbs, the big beefy chest, the blocky head. Me personally, I just get that aesthetic that he's this hulking guardian that sits outside of those big cities like Kaon and Iacon in the lore. He just sits out there standing guard and just huge. The guys that go to battle, tearing everything apart. He does, and like I said, in for his tank mode, he doesn't look like Warpath does. He doesn't look like a battle-hardened warrior. This guy, he looks like a mass-produced industrialized soldier. Like he looks like for like all of his like intricate lines and like the holes, the rivets, all the pistons and stuff. He looks like industrialized. Like he looks like a lot of people, they say, I've heard from some reviews that if you don't like this being Slammer, just buy him to be an Auto Trooper. You know, like the generic, basically like the Autobots Viacons. And he definitely gives off that vibe. Like heavy, industrial, a war machine. Doesn't just look like a warrior, it looks like just a pure machine. I don't know. That's a little, I don't know what to say. I just really like the aesthetic of him. He's big, he's beefy. He really, and this is why I like him. I love him. I love this transformation. It's super simple. And yes, he parts forms, but that's literally what he does. And as a weaponizer. So, you know, if this was any other figure but a weaponizer, it'd be, like, obviously a little bit worse. But he's a weaponizer. That's his whole thing, and I really, really like him. His posing, I love to pose him. He has, no, like, real, like, waist, like, waist cross piece. He can kick super high, and if you angle it back, he can kick super high back. He has a waist. He has a double, like a deep knee bend due to his transformation, and then he has a super deep, weird looking ankle tilt, but he just looks good to pose. He's fun to pose. He's fun to play with. He's not hard to transform, and he has the aesthetic in both modes. He is a beefy industrial warrior, and definitely for just a drone, for a guy that used to be a drone guarding Metroplex, translating this over to this big, beefy, mass-produced guy, I think fits really, really well for him. I really like his aesthetic. I really like his transformation. And he's fun. He transforms good. Good enough for like a kid to transform him. He's fun enough, like with the weaponizer gimmick, combining other weaponizers, putting him on other guys. He has the playability. He has the fun transformation for kids and collectors. He has the aesthetic to be cool and appealing to collectors and kids. And I believe that this guy, as a weaponizer, he doesn't have the greatest, he's not the greatest at being a weaponizer. Definitely he is still good at like doing the whole weaponizer, modulator, fossilizer, big combining thing. But as a weaponizer himself, like arming up other guys, he's not the best at that. But he slays it in his vehicle mode, his alt mode, and his robot mode. He just slays it. He looks cool in both modes. He has a good transformation. Like, it's not like a cog where you pull his arms apart, swivel him around, and then and flip up his waist. He actually has a bit more to him. And same thing with Brunt, which I will get to reviewing. Brunt is the same thing. He doesn't make the best weapons to put on, but he definitely has the best alt mode and robot mode, just like him. But he is the best at that. Best figure for just buying as a figure, not for the weaponizer gimmick. I just really like him, and I don't know. Sure, go ahead, army build him, because it would definitely help him. Like, it wouldn't like hurt him by any means, but it doesn't. But you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of him. And I was super excited the day that I got him. I saw him, opened him up, and I was like, oh, yes. He is almost exactly what I thought he would look like. Cool as he would look like, fun. Like, he has not been on a shelf. He has stayed on the little desk by my by the chair that I sit in for month now, maybe 2 weeks, month, 2 weeks, I don't know, maybe, can't really remember. And it's all the better because I got this one. Notice I said this one from Big Bad Toy Store. It came in like 3 to 4 days, I think 3 to 4 days. I pre-ordered this guy from TF Source in November, and it came almost a week after he did, maybe a week or two after this one did. So that was like late January. And I was like, so I don't know if it was just the fact that I waited so long to get him and for being so good. Like, there's only been that third-party figure of him, and yet, he's like a Legends one, so I think he's like this big, and I have no experience with him, so this is legit his first official toy, and they blew it out of the water. Me personally, he's obviously not the, greatest figure of all time, but he definitely is one of my favorite figures that I've gotten recently, obviously. I just really like him, and since he's out, he's still easy to come by, and I don't know, still you can still get him, not like Kingdom Warpath. You could probably, I don't know if you can find him in stores or whatever, but I just really really like him, and I don't know, just I really really like this guy, and it's the weaponizers are just something that you just go in by yourself and make your own opinion, because basically the community separated on them. You don't like it because of the parts former or what, or their gimmicks not great, or you love it because their aesthetic, their gimmick, their whatever. So really, him and all this weaponizer, modulator, fossilizer, compatriots, just go ahead and buy a couple, mess around with them, make your own opinion. But I really really like Slammer because he is. I just really really like him. I like his transformation, like his alt mode, like his robot mode. So that's basically it. Kingdom Slammer. See you next time.